Right. We are live. Live. Today we're going to program. We're going to program something a little different. And it'll be good. It's a puzzle game. I'll show you what I have so far. Here we go. You got a guy. 3 guys. They're all a little different. And I've got buttons. See how that gets pressed down? It's hard to see, but that's easy to see for me. Push it, door opens. Clear, reset the level. There we go. What I don't understand is why those red boxes are showing up. Oh yeah, because those are doors. They're just telling me that there's a different graphic to use. Okay. So that's our starting point today. Let's see what we can get done. One of the things I want to do today is get the holes set up. So I started having it to where this guy can... Ooh, where is that? Why isn't that working? Ability trigger. Air. Ability true. Where is it? It should be working. Oh, I know what it is. Forgot to build. There we go. So now he jumps. So, what does that look like? He can jump over the buttons and not touch them. Before he was touching them. Boom, touched. Jumps, go through. The idea is that if he touches this pit, he falls through and that he can jump over it. And yes, you can change direction while you're jumping. Maybe I turn that off. Make it harder. No. I think the control is more forgiving. And this game's not about... This isn't a platformer. So jumping's just a mechanic to block you. Alright. So the first step is get you to fall through the pit. So let's do that. Cave hole, okay. Cave hole does not show up anywhere else. Interesting. Yeah, no, we have it a few places. Here and here. So we're just making it okay. Back here. So I was starting to write this out. I think it's in interactions. So we'll go with that. Okay, 1 second. Turn that off for a second, just double check that Discord does not open on my main screen. Good. Okay, so let's see here. One second. Okay, we're good. So down here, I think I added it to one of these. This one, if it's a hole, we're not checking on type, we're checking on this value. So if it is a hole, we're going to check and see if you collide with the hole, and if you do, then you have to be a certain amount in the hole. So for example, let's see. Can you, that's good. Welcome, hatchling, for the hello world. You could also take that a step further and learn how to do the print formatting. All right, Goat Talk Football's back. That's good. Working on a different thing here. I'll show it off in a second. First, I need to get a rectangle that represents the collision box. We'll do this. I'm calling this building rectangle, but we're going to iterate through these things so many times. You might as well do what we did with int here. This should have, yep, right there. So then I would do rectangle and entity, and so it would be source target. So we'll call you target ent. There we go. And then we'll do target rec. And then we'll take both of these out. There we go. And then, why are you acting like you don't exist, bro? Oh, yeah. And then we'll do source entity. Great. So now, and then I guess we could do source rec. There we go. So what does this afford me? I don't have to keep making new instances for these in the stack during a loop. Good. 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 Okay. And then, yeah, that's good enough. Double check that I didn't break anything. Perfect. So I need to check and see if they're colliding. And it's almost worth it to do this. Save it as a Boolean and just have it. What's for lunch? Oh, I got something in my beard. Oh, no. Never mind. I had bratwurst and some cheese balls. I got these really good spicy cheese balls. That was my lunch today. What about you? What are you eating? I hope it's chicken parm. All right, so we got a collide here. We're checking to see if it collides. We get into here. Does it collide? If it collides, then I do another check, which is the rectangle. If it collides, I need to check and see if more than half of the player is in collision. No, you know what? We'll have to talk about this real quick. So you've got small guy here, and if he's more than half in it, right? So if this is him half in it, if he's more than half, it'd have to be like a decent amount, like 90% in it. I could probably take the area and then do a ratio on it, but he's in it. He should be falling in. I think about halfway is a good. You're falling. But then you got the fat boy here, and he'd have to be. I guess it would have to be area. And we'd have to keep track of how much he's in a hole. Now, can he be in 3 at the same time? He can, but that wouldn't. Let me think about this. It wouldn't be enough, because if he has 3 like this. Yeah. So we're gonna go off of percentage here. It's a threshold. I'm gonna do like a percentage. And if more than like, let's say more than 70% of your characters in, he's considered in the hole. Okay, great. So if we are in the air, what is that? I feel like that's a fancy way of saying chicken parm. It's like chicken parm, but it's like not covered with sauce. So it's like breaded chicken. This looks good. I feel like you've said this 3 times now, which means you like it a lot. Do you do it with the tomato basil mixture like this? Or do you go kind of whatever this is, salad approach? This looks good. You put the balsamic glaze on there, and I'm guessing those are mushrooms. Yeah. Luckily, I just ate. Otherwise, I'd have to stop the stream. All right, let's get back to it. Are those walls or tiles? All right, let me tell you how this works. So the walls are, what are my wall dimensions? 16 by 16 pixels for the walls. And I made all this stuff myself, and so I'm just going to keep making it all myself. I'm not going to hire anyone because it's a lot of money, and it's not the approach I'm taking right now. But check it out. So these are 16 by 16, and just to demonstrate. So the fat guys, this guy can get through this little hole. The fat guys can't. Okay, so there's 3 guys. And if you have a clue, I think you already know kind of the one of the premises behind this game. But, you know, imagine this game, right? But I'm going to make it 2D, and I have some like ideas on how to make this real nice. So the fat guys can't get through a one tile. Don't want to take the same approach like the other time. The other time in which one are you talking about? I've had a couple of them where I did tiles, like I used the tiled program. These walls, I actually have it to where they can move, right? So they're not stuck to a grid. So if I wanted to make, say, this guy here move, I just program it in and then it'll move. Like it doesn't need to be, it's not forced to be grid based. But anyways, these big guys can't get through a single hole. They're too fat. So there's like sub puzzles that the big guy can't get through. And so there's going to be, he'll jump over the hole, jump over the hole. He'll be able to jump. They'll kind of do like the things you'd expect from Lost Vikings, but it's going to be completely 2D. From this perspective, it's not going to be a platformer, so you're not jumping like in a platformer style. Smash Hyperdrive time. For Smash Hyperdrive, I had some guys for art, and they did make some nice stuff, but it's just you could really just keep spending your money on that stuff. And you know, this big fat boy, you could keep buying stuff, but it's just not. The scope's a little big for me right now. I'm going to do something real simple and get this game out there quickly. Like, I I keep picking games that are too big a scope. Like Smash Hyperdrive was like, that game's way too big scope right now. And then the multiplayer game is good, has some technical challenges, but the scope is a little bit too big for me right now. And to make that type of game, you need a little bit more reputation as well. So I figure it's a little bit better to get something that I know I can complete on somewhat of a decent timeline. So I've actually narrowed this thing down a lot already. The scope is very narrow on this one, whereas the last game I was working on, which is a multiplayer one that didn't even have a defined scope, it was like completely wide open. So you got to do it though. You got to narrow things down. So now that these two we're at this point, it'd be more efficient to not check collision on everything, but it's like, yeah, I guess. No, I don't want to make a brain rot phone game. I have thought about it. So the answer to your question is yes, I have thought about it. I don't want to do that. Okay, so we got these two. We're going to do source rec and target rec. This will give me the overlap. Collision rec. Now with this collision rectangle, I can now do a ratio. It's really easy. You just do so you are colliding with the target, so I'm just going to say collision size is equal to collision, or let's just call it what it is. It's collision area equals collision rec times depth or width times collision height. Okay, great. Now you take this and you also take the, so I'm colliding with the hole, so I'm trying to figure out if my area is touching enough of the hole to consider my character falling into the hole. So what I want to do is I want to do a ratio. Now, I need to keep track of how much the character or thing is in a hole. So that's fun. What I would do is I would say, this is going to iterate through stuff. So I think I could just do it here. And if enough of the players in the hole, just have them drop down. Chillzonium says hi. Welcome. It's the Chillzonium stream right now. So we're going to do we are going to call this the whole amount or percent. Okay, so if this is ever gets above 80%, then you're in the hole. What you coding? I'm coding a single player puzzle game where you control 3 characters, they have different moves, and they can solve different puzzles. And right now I'm programming the hole in the ground that your character can fall through and die. That's what I'm coding. Should probably add a flag for if the thing's dead or not, so I can at least have it ignore your input. Hole percent, collision source area. If the Zoinks, Zund, a bit complicated. Sounds a bit complicated. Just depends. It's not too bad. I like it. It won't be complicated for the player, though. They'll just have fun. So here's the idea. If the collision area is bigger than the source area, that's not possible. All that matters is how much. Yeah, the collision area is always going to be. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So then collision area is always going to be smaller than the source area. So we're going to do source area. No, that's not true. How yes, it is true because they're colliding. So we do float overlap amount or percent equals source area divided by collision area. We get our number. Then we do whole percent plus equals that. We're good. Looks like some sort of C. Yes, this is, or she asked what language is this? Looks like some sort of C. This is C. Just vanilla C. Whatever Visual Studio's default legacy C compiler is. And if they gave me more options, I'd probably pick an older version, but whatever. Not the main show. So I believe it's source entity falling and then equals true. And now if you are falling, you are not going to go to this check again. You're just going to get skipped next time. So now when they're falling, I want to do something different. So I'm going to render it differently. You know what? I'm not going to have this on because then I can have it show live the entire time. So I'll keep this part out for now. And then in the render, I want to show a blue color. So let's see. We've got whole. We'll do the sword guy, or the shield. Speed guy's the one. Okay, so he can jump. Great. So then I'll put in a color here, and we'll do red. And then if entity dot be falling, then we'll do color equals blue. That way we can debug it really easily. Yeah, C's super nice. And let's not have it just be when you're jumping. Okay, so this, if I did it right, he's going to turn blue when he's in the hole. Okay, it didn't work because I didn't compile the code. No, I did compile the code. Okay, so then be falling. Let's jump back into here. Falling equals true. Let's see if we're ever here to start. Nope. Okay, so that's first problem. I saw I could never figure out how to use that darn purple Visual Studio. Spam. I'll forgive you on that one. There's probably some enter characters in there that you weren't aware of. So I think I need to make sure that the cave hole has the whole field set. Yeah, as he said, is not a cave hole, so of course spilled water a bit. Oh no. Okay, so these two areas entered a division by 0, so they're not colliding. If they're not colliding, how'd you get in here? Oh, because I didn't do a collision detect or check. Okay. Do it again. All right. Bing, bing, and perfect. So we're making some progress. The problem is that the overlap percent 144 divided by 6 needs to go the other way around. Okay. Do that again. Just one more time just to see how good it's working. First I'm going to jump over the hole. Ha! Did it. Whoop. Whoop. And then touch. Okay, we've got no overlap because the collision area is so tiny. Let's see what we got. 0.5. Yeah, so it's like minuscule. So that's not going to do anything. But here, this is what I want to see. What do you think? 0. So what do we got? Ints. Yeah, good job. Float. Do you think AI will ever replace programmers like us? AI will never replace a programmer like me. I don't know anything about your skill level, but I would also say he wouldn't replace you because the AI is nothing even close to what people say or think it is. Okay, so let's do a little compile again. Because it's a 0% concern. I think a better question is, will my employer think it can replace me? And the answer is yes. But your employer is typically a non-technical person, so he has no idea. So in the worst case, you'd lose a job, and that's it. And then no one would ever make that mistake again because they'd realize how stupid they were for doing that. All right. So I think I need to reset this back to false between runs. All right. Yes, I need to set it back to false because what we're trying to do is see. We want to see I just want to see the threshold at which it goes. All right, next question. I think we don't have enough money or powerful chips for another 20 years to replace programmers fully. It's not a hardware issue. The people who write the code are bad at it, and even if they weren't, it's like if you look into the mathematics behind what they're claiming is possible, just look at simple math related to it, you would know that it's a total scam. I think this is a fair way. I mean, like, look at this. Like, you're just like, I'm being very forgiving. Look at this. Like, that's a lot of play there to keep you from falling in. Like, you really gotta be falling in. So I'd say I think that's pretty fine. It's not going to happen, bud. You can't make a replacement for the human mind. It's impossible. It won't happen. They want you to believe it because they want to control you. It's not real. It's called sci-fi tingles. Sci-fi tingles. Yes. Sci-fi tingles. You watched too much Star Trek and Star Wars, and you got sci-fi tingles. You can't wait for the singularity to happen. You want the black holes to be real. You want the meteor to crash on the Earth. You want a doomsday event. It's sci-fi tingles. There's nothing real about it. It's waiting for the rocket to land on Mars. It's sci-fi tingles. You want science fiction to save you. That's what that is. Completely reject the AI red, or was it the AI black pill? It's just sci-fi tingles. All right. Falling happens. So when falling happens, I'm going to need to reset the level. So I'm just going to do this for now. I'm going to do PK level PQ. Load level 1. Okay, so then, and we'll do game state pointer, I guess. It's a great money making thing. Whoever convinces people that it works is going to make a lot of money. But you know what? It's a scam. All right, jumping works. Okay, let's have one of these fat boys fall in the hole. Ooh! Whoop! He's gone. And doop! Let's try it again. Doop! Doop! Thunk! Oh, see, he missed that hole. You know, I almost feel like this should count as him being in the hole. I think 75% is good. That's like you're really playing with fire there. So let's make it 75. And I might even go to 70 because you just can't have people skating with like that much of their character. That's just, I would go 5 more down. This just seems so odd and wrong. Like, yeah, we're gonna go further. Let's do 65. You ever have a problem where you are mid learning a programming language and just stop because you can't be bothered? You know, the interesting thing about it is, how many languages do you know? Like a hard wall. There are no hard walls. There's only willingness to keep struggling. It does get to a point where it's a pain in the butt, but, you know. There are languages where there are hard walls, actually. Like languages that are just a waste of time, that no one should learn. Like this. Yeah, this is a waste of time. You'd be better off spending it on something useful like learning assembly language. Well, a hard wall is one thing. Being bored is another, and then also checking out like the limitations of what you're working on. For example, Roblox. You know, that's a different thing. I wonder if I could have this turn into something else when you press a button. So then you can have your main guy run through here and he jumps over the holes. I wonder if, yeah, why don't we do that? Let's give it a little test. Level loader. I'm going to where the door is, set up. No. I will for 2 seconds, but I'm not going to do it permanently. So I have the cave doors. And we're going to make cave holes out of these. And let's put them in after the doors. So then you see the walls, press the buttons, and then they're cave holes. Perfect. Good. So the only way to get out of here is to jump. Boink. These big guys can't, and they die. Include IOStream, brother? What are we talking about? Why would I include IOStream? This isn't C++. Why would I include IOStream? See, that's coming on too quick. I wonder what I'm doing differently. Huh. Brochacho. Alright, we're done. Okay, jumps through the hole. You know what? I don't need it to be perfect. If you're gonna go into the hole, you're going into the hole. Why was the top part so quick to kill you, though? Oh yeah, because it's about how much you're in it. So this will kill you sooner. I'm thinking with these cave holes, first off I need to get to collision to stop drawing on them. But with the cave holes, I think it's time. So that's cave hole. Where's cave hole render? Is that in? That's in here probably. We don't need this anymore. I might need to create a few more cave holes and have one of them be like, you know, got like something dead at the bottom. Just have like blood everywhere. Then just have like some dead guy down here. And then he's gonna have like pants and a shirt on. All right, good enough. Denver Swink. What up? All right. So this is hole render. We should have one, two. Oh, nice titles. What titles? What are you coding in? C. C. Coding in C. You know what? Let's go back. Yeah, I've heard of C too. C's a good language. Very good language. Jump in the hole. You should use Visual Studio. Visual Studio Code. Why? Why should I use Visual Studio Code? I'm using Visual Studio. He wants me to use Visual Studio Code. I have Visual Studio Code, but... Oh no, I didn't install it on this computer. Oh well. Don't really want it. Okay, we'll do this one. Great. And then let's make a few of those. So we'll do load level 1. And we could just put a 2 here. Great. And then let's put a 2 here, but not overdo it. And then in here, snap to grid, init by type, init cave hole. So this one, we actually want this to be cave hole 1. And then we'll do cave hole 2. Okay, great. And then we'll offset the texture location. Cave hole 1, offset down 16, so we need to go over 16 to get this one. No fighting in chat. All right. See ya, Uncle. I'm a subscribe. Great. Have a good one. Yeah, that's funny. That's probably true, though. I'm probably old enough to be some people's uncle. No, actually, I am. Because all my brothers are uncles. All right, thanks for the subscribe. He's gone. He's gone so quick. I'll answer the question, though. Uncle, do you think Linux is an unnecessary step for any sort of C language? You don't need to learn Linux to use C and to program in C. Or even C++. Not a requirement. It's just not. Use the OS you want to use. I was uncle at 5. Some people actually are fortunate to have a family, big family. So that does happen. See, okay, now that's more obvious that there's death down there. I can make it even more obvious by having spikes. Still red. That's because of the doors. So I want to get rid of that. And it cave door, so it's going to be cave door. Door render. Good. Okay. I'll probably put some sort of spikes in there or whatever. Something, I might even have it to where there's like borders that I can apply on top of this. So I draw this and then one thing above it, and it's like transparent, but it like helps do the edging. All right. Oh, dead. Definitely need a dead guy at the bottom for the first one. Otherwise, you would open it up. But when you see the dead guy, you're like, okay, I don't think I can get across that. And if you go in it, you die. So this will be like the first room. I think I'm going to actually make the first room. What I need to do now is provide myself with a list of like things so I can place them. And then have a printout where I can just copy and paste it into here. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do the buttons and save the buttons, but I think that's not hard actually, because I can just go entity underscore and then the entity ID for the field name. That's funny. Okay, so suppose I do that. I would want to print out this. Yeah. Whenever I left click, I'm going to start out with just the left click. It should print this text out. And then I'll go a step further in a second. So I think Raylib has a copy text to buffer thing, but I'm not going to use that. I can actually write it to a text file, would be fine, but I'm going to actually just write it to the console. So we'll do void pq print out level, and then we'll do pq game state t game state pointer. Okay, write that out. Bingus? Bingus. Bingus. How on earth does somebody even know or call anything a bingus? It's a beangus. Bingus. There you go. You can go use a hex editor and find this. Actually, I'd have to make it a character constant, but whatever. Bingus. Bingus. That's great. Next episode, title it Bingus. Okay, so I want to print this out. I'm going to call the method. All right, we're going to do printf that. Snap to grid, game state pointer. That'll be the same every time. This is entity type cave hole. Interesting. How am I going to know the name of the thing I'm placing? I guess that's hard-coded a little bit. That's okay for it to be hard-coded for now, just for this portion. So then that would be cave wall 1. We have our first digit. We have a constant value, and then our second digit. Great. And then we do comma. I'm guessing these are entities. So I iterate through all the entities. Denver Swing says, if you learn all of a programming language, you would treat it like basic English grammar. Yeah, it's not a bad take. It's kind of how it is. I just want to be able to make the levels, print out text, don't have to write to a file, don't have to read from a file for now. I don't care about that. It's not that important yet. I'm sure it'll become important soon, but this is starting step. And if anything, I can just do S printf or F printf or whatever it is and just print to a text file at some point. And I'm just changing what I have here. Like, it's not hard. I could do it. It's not there yet. I just don't want to do it yet. Don't pressure me. Okay, so here we are. We're going to do a big nasty switch. Let's see. Yeah, big nasty switch. If One, two, three, four. We got cave button. Cave button will be a good one. Cave door hole and exit points are all good. Basically everything but the players. The players get a different little switch. Make a variable and name it Bingus, or you're a Bingus. I do not take threats kindly. Okay, so what are we missing? This right here. So then we do entity dot position x entity dot position y. Done. Build done. Okay, printf. Okay, you know what? I'm probably not including standard IO, so we're going to do std io.h. There we go. Run, go. All right. Yes. So we want to trigger this new method. Print out label every time you left click. So I will do this. Bam. Game state pointer. Look at that. You don't need object-oriented programming. Okay, what do we got here? Length is 59. Here we got I0. Yep, that's my bad. Do it again. Okay, so everything is acting like it's cave wall number 1. And instead, I think I need to do that divided by 16. Divided by 16. Stop. Go. Okay, click. Everything's still cave wall 1. Okay, I think I need to make a char buffer. I have this somewhere else, sure, but who cares? All right, we got our buffer. And then we'll just do one of these. Printf, sprintf, buff, cave wall. Done. Button. Oh, this is too much work. Shut up. Can't you automate this? Go home, loser. Probably could automate this. Okay, wall, button. We're missing door 1. I could also generate all this too. I could write code to generate it. But we're not there yet. Because I'm trying to make a game. I'm not trying to make a bunch of tools. Okay, great. So now we have a nice buffer. Boom. So instead of this, we will put in the buffer and voila, look at that, done. Bet you can't do that, noobs. All right, so position X, position Y. What do we got going on here? If they're not active, they're gone. Is that what we want? Yeah. Okay, so this is 0.0F. This is 0.0F. Okay, so we've got the naming done. And the issue here is that we're using a decimal. We should be using a float. Run it again. Great. Click. Boom. Now, I bet that the function I have here takes in an int. It does. So instead, we're going to go back here and we're going to use decimals. We're just going to cast these to ints. Done. Great. Crash. Oh yeah, don't cast the buffer into an int. There you go. Click. Oh, I didn't actually compile there. There we go. Okay, run and click. Look at that. Now, here comes my real test. Oops. Level loader C. Where are you? So now we're going to add another thing here. PQ load level 2. PQ game state. Type star game state pointer. Bam. Look at that. And now I'm going to load level 2. All right, so we got load level 1. Let's do load level 2. And we'll put a 2 here. 2, jump in here, jump in here. All right, so no level, second level, no level, first level, second level, first level, second level. What's the difference between the first level and the second level? It has a box there. Da-da-da. Boom. Okay, now we have a new level. It has nothing in it. All right. I'll just nab this. Looks like I didn't put in any new lines, so we'll start over, jump into printout level, and do a little bit of that new line magic at the beginning. We just do this, new line, new line. There we go. Run it again. Set it to 0. Set it to 0 again. I don't know why it does that. Or it skips one. Okay. Now we have it. Take that. Instead of doing whatever we had there before, we delete. Stop debugging. Great. And what do we have? Level 2 is this one. This one. Problem with level 2, though, we forgot to do our obligatory clear level at the top. So we'll do printf. Oops. Whatever happened there, you don't need to happen again. Click. Okay. Do a double new line. Okay. Copy from there to there. This is too slow. Whee! Let's go. There it is, level 2. Problem. It's missing one. We've got 3 here, though. Why is it missing one? It's something to do with my code that I wrote for clearing the level. So the one that's missing... Oh, they're all there. And now it's gone. Okay, if I press... I left click. Okay, so let's keep it narrow. So we've got 3 of these. I'm gonna clear it out. I'm gonna press it, and I want to land in here and see what's happening. Ooh, that's not good. So it didn't increment. It was starting at 3. And that's because of the next 3 thing. So it jumped around. It's probably referencing itself. Okay, well, in level clear, we've got a bug in here. So I iterate backwards, set all this stuff up, and then I go forwards. I think what I need to do is game state pointer entities dot next 3 equals null. There we go. All right, we're looking fine. Looks good to me. Looks real good. It's working. Good job. All right, so we have the start of a level editor. I think it's worthwhile to also have the player positions be the starting position. Have that get printed out as well. Okay. If these guys are that, we do this. Else, if they are these guys, we do that. Okay, we're gonna do... We got here, we got this stuff. Yep, same stuff. Okay. Make that level 2. Built. Run. Okay, level 1, level 2. Great. If I want to go even further, I can just write these as text files and read them and stuff, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to read text files. I have to. I think I know what a Denver swink is now. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so we've got level loading. We've got doing pretty good. How on earth does that? Oh, it's because of the jumping. Looks like he's through the wall, but he needs to be able to jump and at least act like he's above it. Whatever, that's not for now. All right. Well, I'll leave that for now. Very noob level editor. I guess I could add some other features, but before we do that, let's switch this to release mode and run the game. See if we get anywhere. Last time we didn't get anywhere. Interesting. Okay, and then we could do a build of that, run that. So this is weird. I gotta fix this because otherwise I can't do any deployments. Why are you failing, man? Okay, let me put all the garbage that goes in that folder. So then let's run it. So everything else works. It's right here though. Oh no, that's fine. That's not a big deal. I could put Bentest PNG in there though. It doesn't matter. How about we stop using the Bentest PNG? So it crashes here after I load terrain PNG. There's no way it's breaking there though. So I think what I need to do is modify the so this has some debugging stuff. And in release mode, it doesn't. So let's turn it on for release mode. And then we'll build it again. So we at least figure out why it thinks it's crashing. Okay, next step. Make sure the modules are the correct size. We have 38 kilobytes. 38 kilobytes, perfectly fine. Maybe I need to copy the PDBs into that folder as well. Doesn't make sense, but let's give it a try. Load level 1 is what it says. So what's happening in load level 1? We could see where it's getting to and print. So we do printf start. It wouldn't get down there to get down here. Build that. Run. Got to level 6. Okay. It's the worst type of debugging. We got to level 6. This is level 6. It's probably something about oh look, I don't have a 7 in here. We'll add it. 7, 2, 3. It's probably going to be in the interaction codes. 4. Which is okay. I haven't tested that out too much, so maybe. So 6.3 is the last one. So it's the interact conditions here. So where do we take that and a condition button? So why not print out the digits of the buttons so we know that those are populated? 5.2, 5.3, that looks fine to me. And then the next step would be just make sure we have yes, we do. All right, so then interaction condition, get next free. Ooh, that's not good. It's not good. Interaction condition refs, great. So then this is, yeah, so that's interaction. So we actually are looping through them. We got an interaction here. We created one. And that interaction, does that even exist? That would be the question I would ask here. It's only an issue in the release build. So otherwise I'd use a debugger. Interesting. I've got nothing printing out now. So what happens about up here then? Which doesn't make any sense. Do it again. $62, so it doesn't get to 63. It does this one. This is where the issue is. So now I would check and see if this is if that even has a length. Zero. That's okay. So get next free from interactions array. I think I know what it is. Probably not a decimal. That's okay. 0. Interactions create int target val result val in here. It's this. It's this. Shouldn't happen in the shouldn't happen in the release build though. If this is the debug break. Yep, not the issue. Once I figure whatever this is out, I'm going to be very, very done. Okay, so that should be Howdy 1, Howdy 2. It's the worst way to do this. That's all I got. So it's in Howdy 1. So get rid of that. And then we'll do, let's say it's here or here. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with this thing. Interaction. So we're trying, yeah, this looks like this is good enough. Howdy 3. Right here. Really? I am not impressed. Gets the howdy done. Interaction. Yeah, so that's weird. So it's not in here. This is the worst. I'm really curious as to why the release build is crashing like this. It shouldn't be crashing like this, but it is. It gets all the way down to here. Ah! You know what's odd about all this, too, is apparently everything was just working. You know? It was just working. You know, it just, I don't know. Why does the debug build just decide it's going to work and then the release one doesn't? And it's like, it was crazy, but we got it. Okay. So, in C, if you don't return and it expects a return value, it doesn't always complain. Now, in here I don't have an interaction create header set up. Suppose I did in my level loader, which is what I should have had. Then when I compiled, it would say something, does it? No, it doesn't. It still just does whatever it wants. Well, whatever. So anyways, the issue was that I wasn't returning the thing I was creating. So let me see if I got any other creates in here. Create. Make sure I'm... Okay, it's just this one. I get rid of all these stupid prints. That's going to be a pain in the butt. I wonder why the debug release just decided that it was like better than everybody. Or sorry, the release build. Probably because it's a release build. Okay, so let's do the thing I've been wanting to do the whole time about this is I have those keypad, these things where you can jump around. I only want these to be if debug. And if. Alright, so this code shouldn't show up here if you're in release mode. I'm in release mode. Go in here, now I press 1, 2, 3, and I'm left clicking and nothing happens. I don't know why my mouse is spinning. What the why are we crashing? Why? It's because I don't have a message pump? I don't understand. Maybe it's just releases that you have to do if you don't have a message pump. I don't know. Looks like he already does it. How is this even release mode? Okay, it's when I exit the game there's a problem. That's fine. I can understand it having a problem when I exit the game. That's because I didn't set it up. Very supportive of that. So let's put this back on here. I don't care if I mess this stuff up because I'm going to regenerate it. This one. Why is it acting like it's not going to build this? Because it's not. Okay, let me just do a little bit of quick research. Underscore debug. If def. I don't know. Nope. Is it underscore? Okay, and then if I go to release, we're going to do a few tests here. And debug. Let's see. Okay, that's it for now. I'll figure out the next step. I might even just have to, well, let me see what it said here. In here. Product setting configuration properties. Preprocessor. Okay, so this is ndebug. Okay, and then if we go to release min size, so I can actually add a definition. What are the preprocessor definitions? Evaluated values. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, good. So I bet you with CMake I can add the different build defines. Oh, oof. I can have a build specifically for the release. Just ndebug works pretty good. Okay, go back to this. So whenever I send it out, man, this is gonna be rough, because like, oh man. All right, let's just do okay, cool. Gonna restore all this back to normal. Great. Shrink that, reload. So doing that would make sure that the game engine, when it's in release mode, does not have debugging info. Perfect. All right. So now we go back to release mode, build Puzzle Quest, run it. Game's not called Puzzle Quest. Do that. Back to debug, run it. Okay. It's interesting when it's in release mode, it has that error. All right, let me check in what I have so far. My commit messages don't matter, by the way. This is a repository of one. Big Chungus. Boom. It's all just goofy stuff. Bingus. Alright guys, I am going to be wrapping it up now. I can only stream for so long before I lose steam. Don't want to get burnt out today. So we'll leave it here. Keep the Bingus there for Denver. And let's see. I think this is enough for now. I think what I'll do next is when one of your guys falls in the pit, he falls to his death. Shows him falling. Look at how good that looks. Took me 5 seconds to make this guy in the pit that's dead. Did it live on stream. Alright guys, y'all have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Peace. Usually I stream Saturdays, so catch me Saturday, and like, subscribe, up, down, left, right, whatever you want to do. Thank you. Have a good one.